Now I'm going to explain some more two-word Sindhi idioms, which means that those two words have a literal meaning, but used this way, they've come to mean something else. Idiomatically, they stand for something else. And I've made a video like this before, which people appreciated. So now I'm adding some more of these two words in the idioms, and I'll be explaining in English. This is because many people, especially young people who are Sindhi, they do know the language basically, but they're not very good at it, they're not very fluent at it, and they want to improve their Sindhi. So a young Sindhi person suggested to me that I make videos with personal reminiscences in Sindhi and poems or idioms, phrases explained. And I think it's good to explain them in English because the people whom they are aimed at, their English is far better than their Sindhi. And of course, even my English is better than my Sindhi. But I did make an effort when I was young, unlike so many other people of my age, to learn Sindhi well. And I used to converse in Sindhi mostly with my mother in the later years and one aunt, I remember. So that's why this is about Sindhi, but it's being explained in English. The first one is booth sujai, which means having swollen up one's face. Now, obviously, this is a strange thing to do literally, but it stands for looking sullen faced or sulky faced. So it's a sullen look or a sulky look, a dissatisfied, unhappy look. So one would say, booth sujai cho beti ai. Why are you sitting sulky faced? This is one, and it's quite charming and it's used quite often. And Booth Sujal, Booth Sujai. Then there is Hikka Tikka. Now, Hikka means one. Tikka, I don't know exactly. It probably just happens to rhyme. And it stands for a sure shot remedy. My mother used to use it for this char botal. It is a kind of arak. It's a very strong extract of some herbs like peppermint and others. And one has to mix it, a few drops of it with water. And it's supposed to be a sure shot remedy for gas in the stomach. So hikka tikka, that's another one. Then there's dukha dorapa. Now this, I think, strictly it's the words are being used literally, but it's a quaint sort of expression, and it means a little more than what it exactly means, because dukkha is sorrow and dorapa I should think means complaints. But really it amounts to a long list of woes, or going on and on, complaining, venting one's woes about somebody usually. So they say, "Une da dada dukha dorapa kadya," yeah, आई हुई है वेठे दुख डोरापा का ढेई. So it's again quite charming and quite characteristic of my parents' generation. Dukha dorapa kadan. Then the next one, Chodon Chandurma. Now this of course means 14th moon, but it idiomatically it means antipathy. Two people who simply don't get along. They can't get along together. They are supposed to have a Chodon Chandurma with each other. So one would say, Unan bini jo to Chodon Chandurma hai. That means those two have an antipathy. Or Tuinjo to ne sa Chodon Chandurma hai. You simply don't get along with that person. So that's Chodon Chandurma. Then the next one is Sikki Ladho. Now this is a very special, charming one, because Sikka is a very special Sindhi word which means intense longing, and it's been used a lot in poetry and kalams, and there is a famous song Sikka Me O Sikka Me, and I've also sung it and it's there on YouTube. And I've also used this word Sikka many times in my other songs, because I have a lot of songs which are Hindi film songs and I translate them into Sindhi. And of course, most songs are romantic, and Sikka is such a typical thing in romance. So one would find this word quite often. Sikki Ladho means found after intense longing. It refers to a person, someone found after intense longing, and it actually means a favorite, someone for whom someone has a soft spot or is partial to. And it can be used sarcastically by people who sort of either resent that or want to make fun of it. So say an uncle he likes and he's fond of all his nephews and nieces, but he's very fond of one. Or servants or employees. Maybe somebody is always forgiving, overlooking the faults of one particular employee. And so then the others or somebody else will say, he ta tunjo siki ladho hai, that this one is your favorite, this one you're partial to. Then an interesting one is Hazur Sarkar. Now, this Hazur is actually the way of saying Hazir, because as you know in Urdu, it's an Urdu word which means present. I am present. Main Hazir hoon. And in Urdu, as you know, certain sounds, they depend on custom. So like mirch can be called march or mirch. And sir, which is the head, many people call it sir. In Sindh, they call it sir. But in Punjab, they tend to call it sar. So it's the same word written in the same way as I understand, although I don't actually read Urdu, but someone told me once that it is like custom. Hazir Sarkar. Now, Sarkar, of course, means government, but it can also refer to a powerful individual. Hazir Sarkar means present sir. This is used sarcastically for somebody who's very demanding or bossy. So I remember if I was sitting and I was saying I want this and I want that, telling the servant, get me this, get me this, get. So my mother would say sarcastically, she would pipe up, Hazur Sarkar. So it means that, present sir, yes, we'll do what you want. So I hope this was found informative and interesting. Thank you for watching and listening.